Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org. And if you're overseas and on the move, US listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. And if you're in the UK, 0330-332-6541. Or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube Live. In the first watch today, that matter of hair grooming and the school rules. In the second watch, Monkey Pox Alert. For our social media question, we ask, what do you know about monkeypox? How concerned are you about it? Please share your responses on our Love 101 FM Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also on WhatsApp 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your responses later on in the program, but before all of that, here's I quote.
All right, so I quote for this morning. How can the world know peace when we have lost the gift of stillness? Maya Patel. Good morning.
Good morning, Rasheen. How was your Labor Day yesterday?
Well, I had a busy day. I came to work here and then I left to a car wash at my church, and we played dominoes. You know, it was really a great day yesterday. It was really good.
Yes, you labored in the studio for part of the day, and you labored on the vehicles after that.
Yeah, I did. It was really a joy to be doing.
Yes. I was looking around when I was driving. I saw some work being done on some of the roads, schools, police stations. You know, not as it used to be, but some work was done yesterday.
Definitely.
Okay.
I'm assuming you were just passing by and not working.
No, I was going to actually do some work at 4 sites.
All right. Not a problem.
Yes. All right. The first watch will be back after this break.
Colgate Triple Action. 3 benefits for a deep clean. As a mother, you always want to give the best to your family and to make them happy. With Colgate Triple Action, you give them 3 reasons to smile: cavity protection, whiter teeth, and fresh breath. A unique formula with a minty flavor they will love. Colgate Triple Action. Find it at your favorite store.
Many of our brothers and sisters lose hope when diagnosed with HIV. Some lose their will to continue being a part of society. Others are despaired by the challenges of keeping up with their treatment. We understand. But remember, people with HIV live normal and progressive lives every day. You can too if you get back on track with your HIV treatment. Live for you, live for someone, live for something.
Get back on track, get back to life.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Keep fully connected with Flow Fiber Fast Internet at home and on the road with LTE data and calls for a fast, reliable experience anywhere. Over 500 communities have been upgraded since 2020, making more of Jamaica Flow Fiber Fast. And with Yard and Road, get Flow Fiber Faster Yard and LTE Road for as low as $3,999 plus GCT. Visit discoverflow.co to get connected on Jamaica's largest network. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. A few days ago, in a newspaper article entitled Here Police Teaching Self-Hatred, Professor Carolyn Cooper expressed the view that racial discrimination is very much at the core of hair grooming rules in Jamaican schools. And in so doing, further wrote that school administrators need to be disciplined, just as they punish students for breaking hair rules. But how hair raising an issue is the subject of hair grooming and school rules? What is the root of the problem? And what should finally be done about our children's hair and the school rules? Answer these and other related questions we have online. The writer herself, Professor Carolyn Cooper, author, literary scholar, lecturer, and a specialist on culture and development, as well as Mrs. Tracy Ann Taft Thompson, president of the Jamaica Association of Guidance Counselors in Education. Good morning to you both.
Good morning to you both.
Good morning to you both as well.
Good to have you. Good to have you, ladies, all online.
Thank you.
This morning. All right, let me begin with you, Professor Cooper. In that article, I am reading now, I'm quoting, you said racial discrimination is very much at the core of those rules. Their racist policies are designed to perpetuate self-hatred, and the policing of black hair appears to be a classic case of mental slavery. Professor Cooper, on what basis you make these claims?
Common sense.
Which is not so common. It's not so common. So tell us about it.
No. When you look at the way in which children with other kinds of hair are allowed to have their hair go long, you have to ask yourself, why is it that it's only black children's hair that's being policed and the boys' hair can't be more than 2 inches higher, this kind of nonsense. I quoted from a lawyer in that column. Read, do you have the full column there? Read what the lawyer said. Yeah, just read
which section here? All right, give me a little while here.
Towards the end.
Yeah. Continue speaking until I find it.
Yes, he gives a very good testimony. Going to do his maths exam, and the principal wanted to carry him off to the his office to complain about his hair. And other children are sitting their exams without any problem. Their hair is longer than his. And it's a very 10 years later, he still feels it.
Okay. He says, He says, I recall feeling vulnerable, nervous, desperately trying to retain a variety of equations, while the principal, in all his wisdom, inquired about my hairstyle. Want to read more of that?
Yes, read more.
He says, a group of us were marched to the principal's office and given strict orders to have our hair groomed as soon as possible, lest we could not sit our external examinations. I was distraught as I watched my Caucasian, Indian, and Chinese peers with long straight hair begin their exams without any inquiries.
Yes, that's the evidence. And you see it all the time in the schools. If you have a certain kind of hair, the length is not policed. Why is it that black people's hair is being policed? What is it about our hair that is so unacceptable?
Mrs. Taft Thompson, your views on the matter. Do they concur with Professor Cooper?
No, I don't believe it is it has a racial discrimination as the root of the reason why they have insisted on the hair being so short for boys. I personally know of Chinese boys with long hair since they have been toddlers, and as soon as they've entered high school, traditional high school, and they have that long ponytail plait, they were instructed not to enter school until it is cut. The mother had to give reason for it being so long and not cut, and she had to find it. It was rooted in her religious or in their religious belief system. I have not seen where students like Caucasians, they are allowed to wear, boys, they are allowed to wear their hair long. I see where they are asked to cut it as well. And we also have to look on it. Why is it that this rule is in place for schools where you have so many students. I can understand the gentleman in the article who was saying that, it was a traumatic experience for him, and it can be at that time. We as administrators need to be a bit flexible and understanding at times, but I don't believe that asking a child to cut their hair is really a form of discrimination towards black children.
So you believe that lawyer is lying? Or you believe that lawyer is lying when he said he was in a classroom where people with long hair were allowed to take their exams without any problem, and he had to go to the principal's office? He's lying? Is he lying? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying he's lying, and I'm not discrediting his feeling. And I did say that I understand how he was feeling on that day.
No, it's not.
In addition to that, it was during an exam period, and he was, in order to do the exams, you would have to be in 4th or 5th form. And during that time, remember that the students, they are at home for the most part. And I'm sure that he would have not paid attention to the grooming of the hair in terms of having it cut to the regular school policy, or, the rule. And what happens during that time is the boys, they tend to wear the hair and, kind of pat it down and wear it in a fro. But there are some administrators who would be more flexible to say they're doing their exams, so let them do the exams. Once the hair is groomed nicely, they will allow them to do the exams. You have some administrators who are sticklers for the rule. So I'm not saying that there were other boys, or, for his particular situation, I can understand how he would feel, because hair grooming, it would not be a priority of his. So I'm not discrediting his feeling, and it could be that other Caucasians were allowed to sit the exam.
It's not a question of discrediting his feelings. The issue is not his feelings. The issue is, why is the school system discriminating, deciding that Caucasian, Indian, and Chinese boys, he's at an elite high school? Why is the school system allowing those boys to come to school with long hair and not the black boys? That's the issue. His feeling, how he feels about it, is secondary. The larger issue is, why is the policy not being applied fairly to children of all races?
Dr. Cooper, I really believe that we need to really investigate how widespread that practice is. To broad brush it to say administrators, I do believe that there are some who are flexible, but we're not sure of the numbers. So before we get general, we really need to investigate how many of these situations really do occur. And if that is the case, then we can have a major discussion as to why is it that you allowed 50% of your Caucasians versus 20%
of black children. No, you see, you can go and do the research. You can go to do the research because you're a scholar and you believe that one example doesn't prove the larger system. But I've heard these stories so often that I don't need to do any big research to know that our school system tends to discriminate against young black boys by telling them, go and look at the school rules. In many of the schools, your hair must only be 2 inches high. Why? What is the justification for that 2-inch rule? That is what we need to start at. We don't need to go to every single school and find out how many black children versus Chinese and Indian and white are allowed to have tall hair, so to speak.
I can say,
all we need to do is to look at the rules and ask, what is the basis for the rule that says a black child's hair can only be 2 inches high?
Can I ask if you have ever asked?
Mrs. Staff Thompson, we are up on a break. We just hold that thought.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Sure.
Day with H&L Rapid True Values Labor Day Sale. May 18 to May 28. Enjoy up to 20% off safety accessories, tools, lighting, building materials, paints, and Master Painter's paint accessories. Delivery and curbside pickup available. Conditions apply.
Tell me where you get the money transfer.
Alliance.
Where you get the money transfer.
Alliance.
Where you get the money transfer. Money move like a bird, like a plane, it's a blur. Money quick, money fast, money reach in a flash. This your agent no run out of cash. Pay the rent, pay the bills or buy the grocery. Make a call for the cash and pay the school fee.
Money when and where you need it. Alliance Moneygram Money Transfer. Convenient locations island-wide. A member of the Sagicor Group.
Tell me where you get the money transfer.
Alliance.
Digicel, connect with Brata, Theater Kia. Enjoy all your favorite apps and more on Jamaica's fastest network. Activate the Prime Brata bundle for as low as $175 by dialing *147 from your Digicel phone or in the My Digicel app.
All right, connect with Brata. Digicel Prime Brata, Theater Kia.
Love 101 presents The Forum, Our Children, From Missing to Safe. Wednesday, May 25, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. How safe is your child? Is he or she missing? Do you know where your son or daughter is right now? Tune in to The Forum. Let's keep our children safe and bring the missing ones home. The Forum is brought to you by Distinction College, creating opportunities for you. Guardian Group, Live Secure, Live Easy. Phoenix Health Complex and Vision Center, designer frames just for you and complete eye care is here. The Forum, Our Children, From Missing to Safe. Wednesday, May 25 at 8 p.m. on the family station, Love 101.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint, and in this, the first watch, we are again looking at that matter of hair grooming and the school rules. And in so doing, we have online Professor Carolyn Cooper and Mrs. Taff Thompson. Welcome back, ladies. We're so happy that you joined us for the robust discussion we have been having so far. All right, welcome back, ladies. All right, before the break, I think Professor Cooper was asking about the rules, the genesis of it, the origins of it, where did it come from, why is it there? This is a 2-inch thing for boys. Mr. Staff Tom, any response to that?
Yes, I was about to ask Professor Cooper if she has ever asked a administrator, engage them in a conversation to see why it is that the rule is what it is, or even anyone from the Ministry of Education to see where it all began. And from my knowledge, I can say that it's more of a medical, from a medical standpoint, that rule is in place. Remember, you have a population of over probably 1,000, 1,200, depending on the school. And if there is lice, if there is ringworm or other skin conditions, that will be in the hair or can be first in the hair. How can the administrators see and teachers even recognize and know? The girls, that is another reason why the girls, their hair should be braided and plait. Because once it's braided, plaited, it's easier for you to even see if there is any of these skin conditions in the hair.
So let me ask you something.
Okay. Okay. So before you come in, Professor, your argument, Mrs. Tapp Thompson, is there are medical reasons behind it.
It can be one of them. That can be one of them, and I say it's based on personal experience with our children. We have had children come into our schools with those skin conditions, and they were found in the hair.
So let me ask you something. It's only black people have lice. If you go to England, you will discover that there are a whole set of white children with lice. Just Google lice in children's ear. It's one thing for us to be told that people with dreadlocks have lice. Now, even people without dreadlocks have lice in their hair. And is there no way for parents to examine their children's hair to find out if they have lice or not? It's nonsense. This medical excuse about black people having lice in their hair is nonsense. That is a core problem. This assumption that black people are fundamentally nasty. That is the core of the racism. What percentage of black children in schools in Jamaica have lice? Have you done that research?
Prof. Is Mrs. Taft Thompson saying that it's only black children?
Yes, she's responding to the 2-inch rule. She's responding to the
sure I'm hearing that. I'm not sure.
Across the board. 2 inches across the board.
Right.
What about
Professor Cooper? It is across the board.
Chinese children.
Professor Cooper, give me a chance. Give me a chance.
All the chances.
I love black hair. My hair is natural. My hair is natural. I love.
You have lice?
All right, one question at a time. So regarding the research, like you, I have not done the. Say again.
I don't know why I'm bothered to come on this program.
Don't say that we're having a conversation. Dr. Cooper, you can share your opinion. You can share your opinion.
Do not lecture me. I am saying I'm mad with myself for coming on this program. That's all.
You should not. I think it's an eye opener.
I will suffer for the few minutes that remain because I cannot sit here and be told that black children come to school with lice in their hair, and that is why they have to.
No one said that. No one said that.
That is a justification.
I did not say that.
You said it's
Professor Cooper.
Dr. Toussaint, you are the moderator.
Yes.
Did she not say that there's a medical justification for the rule because she said that children have been known to come to school with lice, and it is only if your hair is short that you can see the lice? Isn't that what she said? So why are you telling me that I'm misrepresenting you?
I am not. I'm sorry, Mrs. Cooper. I didn't hear her say though that it's only black children. That's what I didn't hear her saying.
What I am saying,
and I did not say only lies.
The rule is only for black children. The 2-inch rule.
It's not only for black children, Professor Cooper. Professor Cooper, go. Professor Cooper, I can do the research for you, and I can share that data with you. I would really love it. And Professor Cooper, we could do it together. I think we could do it together.
Doing any research on lice in black children's hair.
But you are writing. You're writing the article.
Professor Cooper.
All right, thank you. All right. So I just want to make it very clear to Professor Cooper that I really enjoyed her view. Not enjoyed, but I found it it's a good expression of what some of the Jamaican people feel. So we can now look at it as to what is the genesis of this rule and how does it benefit our children? Is it more of a benefit to them, or is it of a hindrance to their growth and development? That's what we need to really look at. This whole thing about, I'm not saying that black children have lice only. The rule that exists in the schools across the board. It is not just for one set of students. It's for all students who attend the school. So it's not a fair statement. Sorry.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Thompson.
Yes, so it's not a fair statement to say we're only targeting black children. It is across the board. As I started out with my first example, there was a Chinese or Indian, one of them, boy, who was asked to cut his hair. And as a matter of fact, because the hair was not cut, he did not attend that school because his parents were adamant that they were not cutting his hair. And the principal was adamant that they are not going to allow him to be at school. And this is grade 7. And the the lawyer at the time was in grade probably 10 or 11. So it is not to say that the rule is just for one set of students, it's for all students.
Okay. Okay.
Is the
Prof,
rule
you want to respond? Go
consistently
ahead.
applied? Is the rule consistently applied? Is the rule that everybody's hair must be 2 inches long? Is that here consistently applied to all races based on the extensive research that you have done?
Across the board. Across the board.
Extensive. I did not say I did an extensive research. I said I would do the research and I would do it with you.
I don't
That's
want
what I
to
said.
say the
Professor
research.
Cooper. Professor Cooper, let me ask the way forward, though. Both of you, actually. What is the way forward in terms of this? What are your recommendations, seeing that we are at this juncture? Professor Cooper, you first.
The way forward is for the Ministry of Education, in my opinion, to come up with a set of rules for all government-funded institutions. No school board should have the right to decide what the hair policy should be. Because if you have hard-headed, conservative administrators who believe that certain kinds of hair are more susceptible to lice than others, as in the case of the young child with dreadlocks that they try to keep out of that primary school. If you believe this, then you're going to create rules that students will begin to feel discriminate against them in the way that lawyer felt when he saw his Indian and Chinese and white colleagues with long hair sitting down and taking the exam, and he, with his short hair, had to be excluded or reprimanded. And this is a problem. The way forward is to have a uniform policy. I quoted the Minister of Education in Anguilla. Small island, Anguilla is still a British, dependency, but they have a much more progressive view. The minister has locks, and as a student said to her, how can you have locks and the children can't come to school with locks? And as a result, the whole policy was changed so that black children can come to school with a variety of hairstyles that represent their culture. So that is the way forward for me. We cannot keep on punishing children because their hair does not conform to what some administrator or some school board believes is a high ideal standard that has to do with health. That boy with a long ponytail that was left to keep his ponytail because of religious reasons, is his religion going to protect him from lice? Could he not still have lice in that hair even though it is a religious reason why he's keeping it? And one of the points that the minister Aguila made is that they're no longer going to ask children to come with some religious explanation for wearing locks. You can't just wear locks because you like locks. You don't have to have the cover of religion.
Yeah, okay, so Ministry of Education needs to step up in that regard, you're saying.
Yes.
Mrs. Staff Thompson, way forward.
Way forward, I believe administrators need to be more transparent and have this discussion with the parents so that they understand the reason they are enforcing these rules. And once parents have an understanding, students have an understanding, I'm sure everybody will feel, will be able to, to not take offense and to not feel targeted and not feel belittled by the decision that is made about the height of their hair for school. And I'm sure that lawyer too, he was not excluded from or not allowed to sit his exam. But I guess the administrator at the time was more looking at, you're the older ones, you're setting an example. So what about the fourth formers, the first to fourth formers? What will they think at this time of the year? It's coming up to summer. So what is it? Is it that we can come to school as we are? And we have to even look at the current state that we're in. We're still in a pandemic. So we need to also examine all the factors and just have a open dialogue with our stakeholders.
It seems to me that one of the issues for dialogue is what is a rationale for the rule, because in your view, what it is, we must have a discussion to understand why we have the rule. A more fundamental question for me is, what is the basis for the rule? Is it really medical?
Yeah.
Is it
That's
simply
a part of the conversation, Professor Cooper.
Right.
That's a part of the conversation.
That is my main issue. Really, why have these rules been established in the first place?
What is the basis?
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies, for a robust discussion. And we're happy that both of you took the time out to be on to discuss the issues, because that's what we need to do. We need to discuss the issues.
Well, I am not
All right.
happy.
Thank you very much.
I have to tell you, I am not
Thank
happy.
you.
All
You are
right.
most
Bless you.
welcome.
Bless
Professor
you.
Cooper,
Bless
I
you.
hope you have
Bless
a
you. Bless
wonderful
you.
day.
You too, my dear. My day start off bad, so it is going to
Oh
take a.
no, have us some coffee.
Aye.
No, I don't drink
Something
coffee.
nice.
All
No,
right.
no, no.
Thank,
This
thank you,
discussion,
listeners.
this
Thank you,
discussion
listeners.
is
The
really
morning
You're
watch
problematic.
will
welcome. Have a good
return
one.
in just a moment. Just a moment. Thank you.
1 FM, the family station. Apply today for a DBJ recovery line of credit or go digital loan to help you find a way. The time by JN Bank Small Business Loans. It is now 7:31. You're tuned to Love 101 FM, the family station. We'll be right back inside the morning watch.
There is nothing better than seeing your child happy, and the decision to create happy moments is yours. Lactogen 3 with L Comfortis helps you nurture that happiness with probiotics that helps you protect their tummy, vitamins and minerals for growth, and DHA for their brain development. Lactogen 3, growing up happy. Lactogen 3 from 1 year onward is not a breast milk substitute.
The first sound they make is to simply let the world know they're here. And then it's our duty to help them show the world why they're here in the first place.
Give them every advantage with the Guardian Achiever, a plan that provides for their educational dreams and protects their health and life in the process. For more information, call 888-4LIFE to speak to an advisor or visit myguardiangroup.com.
Keep fully connected with Flow Fiber Fast Internet at home and on the road with LTE data and calls for a fast, reliable experience anywhere. Over 500 communities have been upgraded since 2020, making more of Jamaica Flow Fiber Fast. And with Yard and Road, get Flow Fiber Faster Yard and LTE Road for as low as $3,999 plus GCT. Visit discoverflow.co to get connected on Jamaica's largest network. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's look at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing. In the Observer, Facebook, Instagram to reveal more on how ads target users. Also, African Press blasts use of Black people images in Monkey Pox coverage. And then we see also that top candidate, former national keeper Nicole McClure, backs Donaldson as girls' head coach. In the Gleaner, we have lost the spirit of Labor Day, Manchester stakeholders, and also hold string a little longer, the Prime Minister urges workers. And finally, in the Gleaner, Mandela shame, cramped halfway tree park, not worthy of freedom fighters' legacy, says the Prime Minister. Those are some of the major stories and headlines in our newspapers. Coming up next, we'll read some of the feedback from our social media question. What do you know about monkeypox? How concerned are you about it? Please leave a comment on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, Love 101 FM Jamaica, or WhatsApp 876-997-3125. And you know, maybe there are some people who want to also leave some feedback in regards to the first watch. Feel free. Soon come back.
He knows my name.
Here is your opportunity to connect with someone who will listen, pray, and give guidance. It's the telephone counseling ministry of the Edgewater Baptist Church. Please call 876 220 6474. Weekdays between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. and Sundays between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Please talk to someone if you're finding it particularly challenging to cope during this period of global crisis. Someone is waiting for your call. Please reach out today. 876-220-6474. It's the telephone counseling ministry of the Edgewater Baptist Church.
This is a reminder that somebody cares. Endorsed by Love 101.
He knows my name.
Something sweet is coming. Something worth the wait. Something that's gonna be great. Something that can only keep one time of the year. I just absolutely, specifically, wonderfully, automatically, Sunshine Ali love summer. Woohoo! Look out! Here we come! I love summer!
Go, 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 go.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. So let's now join Roshane for a look at how our Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp friends answered today's question. What do you know about monkeypox? How concerned are you about it? Or they perhaps want to respond and ask questions or make statements in regard to the first watch. Roshane.
All right. First, I want to know the time allotted for the feedback this morning because we're seeing a lot of feedback here. But let us start with this first one from Edna from Montego Bay.
Good morning, Mr. Douglas. Good morning, Mr. Toussaint.
Morning.
I don't know much about monkeypox. I just heard about it recently. I know about chickenpox. I just heard about it recently while sometime last week, I think, since they say this trait is on now. However, I think it's something similar to chickenpox, but it seems more intense. So I think we should guard ourselves against it as much as possible. Advice that I'm getting about it, like video circulating and picture circulating, it looks so disgusting. So I don't think anyone would want to catch that. So
Good morning, everyone, on the Morning Watch. I'm very concerned about that monkeypox because it looked like a version of the chickenpox. Because I did have a daughter who have chickenpox when she's small, and it was very terrifying. It eat out, like it dig out some of the flesh, leave a terrible mark on her skin, and it give a lot of work. She have fever with it and so. And every day you have to disinfect and press our clothes and so. And I hope if and when it come here, the authority don't sit and wait and announce it and get to it before it spread.
I believe that this rule stands only for Black children in schools because when I was in high school, a prominent high school in Kingston, that was what the principal told me. I went to school with cornrows, 5 cornrows to be exact, and I was told to pull them out. I took out 3. I didn't have anything to comb my hair with, and she confronted me about it and told me to pull out the rest because she didn't want any lice in her school. That's what I was told. Yep. And my son was in school in grade 1. And they had an issue with his hair. It was too high. They told me to cut it. So I did. And my son, my child, turned to me and asked me then, Mom, why is my hair a problem when his classmate, who was an Indian, had unruly high hair?
Hi, Roshane. Good morning. Wonderful Tuesday morning. God bless and keep him, my brother. Wonderful devotion.
I am so disgusted. Good, and even in the 70s, Yeah, they must stop discriminating black people.
All right. So we're still seeing a few responses. Am I able to take any more?
Just
This
one
one.
more, one more, one more.
This one says my mom get lice from Indian picnic when she goes school. Who sat beside her and pick it off her hair and put it on hers. My mom, that's in the 80 plus, and still remembers it. So, Miss, you implying that the black is, that is black head. So basically it's the same. It's persons are still leaving comments as relates to the discussion earlier about the
Mhm.
hair. The
Yeah,
hair.
as expected. All right, thank you very much, Roshane. We want to thank those who took the time out to send those comments. All right, as we segue into the second watch. Last week, the US reported its first confirmed case of the monkeypox disease, following reports of the disease in 12 European countries and other countries such as Canada, Australia, and Israel. Now, considering that we are still in a pandemic, where in the grand scheme of things does this disease lie? What is the threat to Jamaica and our families? How seriously should we take monkeypox? Well, to discuss these and other related issues, we have joining us Dr. Melody Ennis, Director of Family Health Services in the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Good morning, Dr. Ennis.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I am doing well. And you, Doc? How are you?
I'm hanging in there.
Okay, good. Good to have you with us again. Let me begin with the most basic question that needs to be asked. What really is monkeypox, and why is it so called?
All right. So monkeypox is an acute viral illness caused by the monkeypox virus. It is usually characterized by a high fever. The persons can get a temperature of up to 101 degrees Fahrenheit or 38.3 degrees Celsius. They have intense headache and really what we call lymphadenopathy. Now remember Waxan Canon? When you're going to school and you get a cut and then on your foot and you feel the lump in your groin or you have it under your arm. So it's characterized by these lumps, lymphadenopathy or Waxan Canon all over the body. Persons may get back pain, they may get muscle pain, and intense just lack of energy. And these usually precede the rash by about 3 days. And then the rash develops, usually starts on the face and spreads on the body, but it affects the face and the limbs a lot, including the palms of the hands and the sole of our feet. These bumps can be flat initially, then they can be filled with fluid, and we call them vesicles. They can even be filled with pus, and they are now called pustules. They may be painful and they itch. So that's how persons usually present. Now, the incubation period can be quite long. It usually is about 3 to 6 days, but it can go up to 21 days. And that incubation period means you contract the infection, but you don't start showing symptoms. It can be quite protracted. The good thing about monkeypox is that it really is a disease that is self-limited. And after about 4 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, persons do get better. Of course, we are very concerned about children and persons who are immunocompromised. They don't have such a robust, strong immune system, and therefore they may not fare as well and may go on to having complications. But we should also consider how monkeypox is spread from person to person.
Okay, before you go there, Dr. Ennis, we're up on a break. Hold that thought. We'll be
All
right back.
right. Sure.
50 and over, get the best health plan as well as fabulous discounts. Visit ccrponline.org today or call 469-1944 and live life to the fullest. The time by CCRP
is now 7:45 right here on the family station Love 101. Stay tuned. We'll be right back inside of the Morning Watch.
They're full of life. You're full of love. They're carefree. You care more. That's why we created Child Protector, a critical illness insurance plan from Sagicor Life. It provides coverage for your child in the event of 15 critical illnesses, hospitalization benefits, life insurance, and investment benefits. So make sure your child can live life to the fullest. Apply for Sagicor Child Protector today.
Rio Grande to the South Coast, hotel workers and man wear off boat. This a for the craft vendors, red cap porters and transportation at airport. Jamaica tourism pension plan, building towards the future for tourism workers across the island. Retirement benefits to contributions. Every worker in the industry, permanent self-employed contract. For your service you deserve security. Yes you do. Tourism workers pension plan, build a bright future. Yes you can. Tourism workers pension plan, workers invest through contribution. All tourism workers, age 80 to 59. Tourism workers pension plan.
Start making your contributions for a brighter future. For further information, visit mot.gov.jm or call 876-920-4926 for 30.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint, and in this, the second watch, we are discussing this disease known as monkey pox. And we have online no other person than Dr. Melody Ennis. Dr. Ennis, before the break, you were about to tell us how it is spread.
So monkeypox is spread via droplet infection. So the sneezing and coughing and spitting, singing, it can be spread via droplets. It can also be spread if persons come in contact with the lesion. So you have the bump and they're oozing out the pus or the liquid, and it gets in contact with body fluids. Yes, it can be spread in that way. It can also be spread on what we call fomites or objects. So your saliva gets on your hand, you touch a desk, a chair, a knob, your cell phone, a laptop. Those high touch areas can be sources of infection. And therefore, we again want to encourage persons to mask up. You're covering your cough, you're covering your sneeze, you are disposing of your napkin correctly if you've used it, and you hand wash, hand sanitize frequently and keep those high touch areas clean.
I'm not sure if you had said it earlier, Doc, so I just want to make sure. Why is it called monkey pox? Monkey.
And it's strange enough, the reservoir or well, let's go back to saying it's a zoonotic or it's an animal disease primarily that comes across and infects humans. The host, the reservoir animal is actually rodent. In the wild, it's seen mainly in the Congo and parts of West Africa in high forested areas. So it's the misnomer of the monkeypox because the reservoir can be primates, but it's usually rodent.
Monkey. So the idea it originated with monkeys. Or just monkeying around with the issue. I'm just wondering why monkey.
No. It's as I said, the reservoir is unknown, but it's seen primarily in rodents. All right, so that's where you see it in the wild. Yeah. So other primates can be host to this virus. Monkeys may get it as a primate, but I think it's a misnomer, really, as rodents are the culprit.
Interesting. I'm also asking that question because I'm seeing yesterday, actually I saw it. Is it India Today online? COVID-19 vaccines linked to monkeypox outbreak by conspiracy theorists. So already there are conspiracy theories coming out of this. That those who have been vaccinated with a particular vaccine, the chimpanzee virus, is in the vaccine, and some persons now get monkeypox. Your response?
So we need to clarify the platform that are used to make the vaccine. So one of them is the viral vector platform, where you have a vector, which is a carrier that you place the genetic material in. Now, the carrier is usually a weakened version of a virus that does not in any way, shape, or form infect humans or can infect humans. And this methodology or platform of using a vector to get that robust immune system activated is not new, and it does not in any way affect or can cause an illness in person. It is just a transport medium.
Yeah, interesting. Are certain individuals more vulnerable, susceptible to this virus, Dr. Ennis?
Well, we do have a pretty naive or virgin population, because back in the day when we were
Sorry, Doc. When you say virgin population, what do you mean in this context?
Okay, so back in the day when we were vaccinating with smallpox vaccine, it offered some protection against monkeypox. But we're no longer vaccinating against smallpox because that was eradicated way back in 1980. So persons younger than 40 or even 50 have no protection. So that is why we say it's a naive population or a virgin population. So they may be susceptible to getting monkeypox.
Because we are now hearing about same-sex stuff that, reports.
You're now hearing about, please repeat.
Same-sex stuff, same-sex persons, men with men.
Yes.
In some quarters. What's that about? What's that about, Doc?
That I need to do some more research on. I think the outbreak started, this most recent outbreak started in that population of MSM, but I'm not too sure how that is playing out. I really have to do some more research on the MSM to see if there's any increased susceptibility in that population. We know, for example, that there is high interaction of body fluids and some amount of friction in persons who engage in MSM. So the body fluids can and do come in contact. So that may be the reason for this increased vulnerability or susceptibility in this population.
Treatment options, Doc?
It is self-limiting to start off, and therefore symptomatic treatment, like most viral infections, is what we aim for. So we are going to be treating your high fever. We are going to be treating your pain. We're going to be treating your itch. So that's the mainstay. And of course, your fluid intake must be up there to prevent dehydration. There is a medication that was approved for treatment of monkeypox, but it was recent. I think it was just 2021 or 2022, early this year. It was approved, and it is certainly not widely available at all. So it's symptomatic treatment that we opt for, and we treat the complications as they arise.
So can it recur?
Yes, it can.
Uh-oh.
Yes, it can, but the rate of recurrence is not high at this time, but rarely it can recur.
So the symptoms are treated, but it's not really cured.
No, well, like most viral illness, it ends after a particular time. This one will end after about 4 weeks. So 4 weeks, after about 4 weeks, persons will be better. They'll be over it. So it really is just to treat the acute illness. So the high fever, the rash, the painful rash, the itching, is to get over that hurdle and resolve spontaneously.
So in terms of detection, because some of the symptoms you have mentioned sound pretty similar to a particular virus that we are now facing.
Remember, most viral infections present pretty much the same way. Most of them. So what is distinctive about this one is the lymphadenopathy or the wax and cannon. The bumps are also pretty distinct.
Yeah.
The pustules and the distribution of the rash. On the face, 95% of persons will have their faces covered, including the mucosa, so the mouth, the eyes, even the conjunctiva may have bumps on it. That is quite marked, different from the other rashes that we see. But of course, here in Jamaica, we do fever and rash surveillance. So whenever persons come into our facilities with a fever and a rash, that is noted and they are followed to see how that is going to play out. Because lots of illnesses that are serious comes with fever and rash. So we do have a fever and rash surveillance system in place.
All right. What should we do then, if at all, to avoid contracting this disease, Doc? And what are your concerns in that regard for Jamaica going forward?
So, of course, we need to maintain our hygiene. So, coughing and sneezing, covering the cough, we are still in a pandemic, and we should still be wearing our mask. This is another infection that is spread by a droplet. So the mask on, covering the nose and the mouth, mask on.
That's why we shouldn't, Doc. I'm so sorry, Doc. That's why we shouldn't have removed the mask mandate.
Well, the mandate is your personal responsibility. The mandate is your personal responsibility, assessing your risk and knowing that you are susceptible and I must wear my mask. So masking up, nose and mouth covered, and hand sanitizing and hand washing frequently. And of course, staying away from crowds, the body fluid. So, if we are following those measures as we should have been, and now that there is something else on the horizon, we are following it even closer, then we should be okay.
Yeah. Well,
and
we want to thank
vigilance. The vigilance about persons visiting and coming in. We have to have that high index of suspicion about our house guests and persons we socialize with that are coming from areas with an outbreak.
Yes. Dr. Melody Ennis, we want to thank you again for another informative and instructive discussion. And we hope and wish that you have a wonderful day. As we know,
I certainly will try. I will try. It was my pleasure. I hope your listeners have a good day as well.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, listeners, for being with us. Join us again tomorrow as we continue to set the stage for a discussion of topical and controversial issues. For information how to get copies of this program, call our production department at 876-968-9596-7. This has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer, Miss Kathy Gale, and our guests. I'm Dylan Toussaint, giving a shout out to the pastor and members of the Mona Open Bible Church as I hand you back to Love in the Morning with Shane Douglas.
Thank you, Dr. Toussaint. Have a great day now, my brother.
Thank you, too.
NHF beneficiaries enrolled for diabetes can get a glucometer with use of their NHF card. Apply online at nhf.org.jm. The time by the NHF is...
It is now 8:01.